Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach Enough channel. In this video, we're looking at the NFL rather, Sportsdeck. I'll have to get out of there. After week one of the 2023-24 season. And a bit of a disappointing week with 405 points, which ranked me at 1,663 out of only 2,600. So as you can see, they're top 62%. But surprisingly did get a league win, so we will have a look at that. But we'll have a look at the team and how they went. So our quarterbacks were probably the big disappointment for our team, with Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts both struggling. I know there was a reports of lots of bad weather around um, in round one. A lot of the games were affected. So I didn't see the Eagles game and whether that was the case. But I'd caught a bit of the Monday night game, I guess Tuesday morning our time, and it seemed to be dry enough. So don't know if Josh Allen's had an off night or what the story was, but we'll forgive and we'll move on. But Anthony Richardson did a really good job for us. 43. He looks really good. Um, I've got him in one of my uh, redraft leagues, and he was part of the reason why I did so well in that this week. In the leagues I didn't have him playing, didn't do so well. Onto the running backs and Saquon. He had a tough match up there against the Cowboys. They were unreal in defense. James Cook, solid enough. He's only at 6 mil, so we'll cop at 16. Bijan, he looked really good, even though he was splitting with Algier there in the Atlanta running game. And Jameer Gibbs looks solid enough against the Cowboys, so at bottom dollar, he's a good one to have. And on our bench, Rashad White, Javonte Williams, sort of again a middling type score there, but we've picked them as value picks, so hopefully they'll lift. The wide receivers, so Justin Jefferson and Stephon Diggs doing the job. Chris Olave with the 30 is pretty solid too, considering most wide receivers average 35 at the elite sort of level. Garrett Wilson, 23. Although Aaron Rodgers looks like he might be out for the season, so the hope was he had a decent quarterback feeding him. We're back to Zach Wilson, so might be on the chopping block this week. Deontay Johnson, so he suffered a hamstring injury, so he is definitely one we're going to look at removing this week. And Calvin Ridley, he looked really good first game for Jacksonville, so glad we got on him. Sky Moore, so I don't think any of the receivers at Kansas City covered themselves in any glory in the Thursday night game. So he ended up on 0. And Gabe Davis with an 8. He wasn't as involved as I'd hoped. But again, when the quarterback's only scoring a 23, suggests that maybe there's not a lot to go around. Our tight ends, so obviously Kelsey was laid out with the injury, so we played Waller and Musgrave, and the rookie actually outdid Darren Waller. In saying that, Darren Waller did look like the number one sort of target for the passing game there with the Giants, but again, the Cowboys were so good in defense. Our kickers actually did really well, so we got 28 out of Moody and 20 out of Aubrey, and 20 in the defense for New Orleans. So that's a pretty solid return for 6.3 mil. The Bears, we've only got them because they're cheap, and they're about to get cheaper by the looks of that. So that's fine. But I guess if we have a look at how the game shaped out, so we did end up getting a little 18 league together for the Nuffs, and we'll go back to week one. So as you can see, I only got 405, which was the second lowest in the league. But unfortunately, I was playing Will, and I think just looking at Will's team, he might have copied a fair bit off me. So sorry, Will, if you're watching this video, that I've steered you so wrong. But yeah, Ridley over Gabe Davis doing the job. So who's he got on the bench as a? Oh, he had Ridley on the bench. Okay, interesting. Yeah, that is pretty much the same team. Lovely. I love to see it. Um, But yeah, I guess, just having a bit of a preview of the other teams and where they went different. So, going Mahomes was a good option. He scored 40. Um, what else stands out here? No, Tony Pollard, 42. That's really nice. Tyreek Hill with the 78. I actually think he was the top scorer. It might be easier if I go back through the team. But I guess Timmy's caddy has got 549. Let's have a look what he did. So he captained Tyreek, so that helps a lot. The 49ers defense, they were pretty good, to be fair. Tour as well. Yep, so the stack, that worked out amazingly. Kincaid, yeah, that's okay. Yeah, few commonalities there. Nice. Now just a quick look at the last one here. What do we got? Eckler did pretty well with 48. Tyreek. Yeah, so I guess it might be easy because if we go to the matches, you'll see there's 16 to go through. It's quite a lot. But what I might do is just pull out a couple of players and we can see on the trades. So in terms of quarterback, you can see Tua was the top scorer with 56. Mac Jones was a surprising one with 50. And I guess with Mac Jones, the thing is, it looks like New England is just going to throw the ball a lot. So he's probably awkwardly priced. I wouldn't go there, but an interesting one to consider. Jordan Love, if you went for two rookie quarterbacks, I think, there's a bit of value there early doors. I'm definitely not going to trade out one of my guns, though, for that. But Jordan Love, 45 points is pretty nice. Deshaun Watson, he's always a chance of being a bit of a pot option. Herbert Lawrence, same sort of deal. I guess maybe Justin Fields. People were hoping for a little bit more from him, but you know he'll get better. Obviously, the two studs have let me down. Um, Lamar, that's quite disappointing considering how good they were. And Dak Prescott with the 12. So even though they won 40-0, he didn't do a lot of it. But we're not going to trade a quarterback, so we'll put him back in. In terms of running backs, Aaron Jones was the top scorer with 51. So Austin Eckler as well. So the top two players, you might look at them, but they've both got a bit of an injury cloud hanging over them. So probably just sit back and wait. Algier was the surprising one, obviously playing with Bijan, but is getting a fair share of it and making the most of it with a 45. So I think Bijan is better value, and will probably score similar. So I wouldn't get Algier in. Pollard I do like as a cheap sort of keeper option, but I'm going to give these guys a bit of a chance to make some money for me before I commit. ETN looks solid. So Kyron Williams and Josh Kelly, they were really nice sort of cheap options as well. Particularly if Eckler is out, Kelly could have a role for the next couple of weeks, depending on how long the injury is. So that could be a nice little cash cow, I think, for us. Scrolling through. Someone like Derrick Henry would be pretty interesting because when I was looking at the scoring, it doesn't seem to be a PPR type scoring. So, he doesn't usually get a lot of targets with the pass. He relies on the running game. And he does start seasons a bit slower. So we will keep an eye on him, and he'll probably come into our team later in the year once his stats start trending up. J.K. Dobbins, unfortunately, Achilles injury out for the season as well, along with Aaron Rodgers. So if you had him, the 2.7%, you might need to look elsewhere. Yeah. Other than that, I don't think there's too much there to talk about. So I'll put them back in. So I will pull out Deontay Johnson. I'm definitely trading him out this week. So you can see I'm a bit short on Tyreek Hill. So, that would be nice to get on, even though, it's chasing last week's points. He is still a gun. Ayuk looked good, surprisingly. A lot of people would have thought Debo would get some more ball. Jacoby Myers outpointing Adams there at Las Vegas. Kendrick Bourne, I think that's a bit of a flash in the pan. I wouldn't worry too much about that. Michael Pittman, I guess, Richardson actually looks pretty good at the pass, so he's going to be the man that he throws to, so it could be worth a shout. The obvious cheapie here, though, is Puka Nakua. So with Cooper Cup out for at least the next 3 weeks, he'll definitely make money after scoring that 33. So if you're looking to trade down, say from a Johnson, he'd be the prime target. The alternate option is a fair way down the list, I think. But I liked the look of Zay Flowers, getting a lot of targets there at Baltimore. So, I think he'd be the alternate option, but he's already at 55% ownership, so maybe I do need to get on to match. But Nakua, I think, point 0.3, only 8 people have him at the moment. I think that'll change after this week. Um, but other than that, a few sort of middling options. Amon St. Brown was solid. Mike Evans, solid as ever. Yeah. So, yeah, no, I guess you can go through and look at some of those other guys if you want. Um, but what I might do is I'll plug in Nakua for the time being. We'll just take a quick look at some tight ends. So Hunter Henry, he looks like he's going to be pretty well featured in the New England passing game. And same thing with Hayden Hurst at the Panthers. So, they both very intriguing options, that sort of 6 mil mark. Um, but yeah, I'm still a big fan of these bottom dollar rookie cheapy type options like Musgrave. Obviously, Sam Laporta looked good. Jake Ferguson from the Cowboys as well. You'll see his score isn't fantastic. In fact, I can't even see it. Oh, 4. I thought he did better than that. But yeah, I guess he didn't need to do much because again the defense was awesome. Um, but yeah, Hawkinson was solid enough. But as you can see, you compare this to the wide receivers, the running backs. There's chalk and cheese in terms of the points. So we don't really need to stress too much about trading tight ends. I don't think. Same thing with the kickers. I will bring them up just to have a look. Get rid of that. But yeah, you can see a few of them went off this week, kicking lots of field goals. But it's fairly volatile. You've got almost the same score out of a $3 million option as a $9 million option. So I'm happy not paying for kickers. And defense, the Cowboys were ridiculous. Um, they are probably one of the better defenses in the league, hence the price tag. I don't know if it's worth the value though. I definitely wouldn't waste a trade on it. So if you've got the Cowboys, more power to you. But I'll stick with the Saints for the time being. So as I said, I'll get rid of Johnson because there's no point if he's injured. He's not going to play. I don't really trust either one of these guys just at the moment, but I will back Nakua in at the 3.1 mil mark. And then with my second trade, I could just save one, but I do want to fix the team up. And I think with Aaron Rodgers out, that Garrett Wilson probably won't get to that elite sort of scoring level. So I can look to upgrade him. And, it looks like the obvious option will be Tyreek Hill. Could wait a week and have another look, but we know how good he is. He's well owned. So, we're going to be a bit aggressive with the trading. We could boost as well, be super aggressive and set the team up. But in saying that, I'm not really sure which way I would go. It'll probably be like downgrading one of these guys, like maybe if I was to boost, maybe I wasn't overly. What happened there? Activate. So, I could get out of Rashid White. What have I got? 12 mil. So, I can't quite get to Pollard. Can't even sneak up to Jones. I could chase one of these cheaper options that's going to make some more money. Um, yeah. Brees Hall actually looked really good too. I should give him a shout out. Then I guess the other option is we can potentially go slightly down at the wide receiver option, and we could get someone like a Tony Pollard, and then on top of that, who do we like? We could get a Monroe. Well, it'd be a solid pick, I think. Don't think he'll be elite, but definitely solid. Yeah, no one's really going to jump out of the ground there, eh? So it could be something like that, for this week. And yeah, but like I said, I don't think I need to hit the panic button on the running backs just yet. So I'll stick with the original plan. Use the two trades just to upgrade Garrett Wilson, essentially. We've got the money making there with Nakua. And so then, in terms of the VC and C options, we've got Jalen Hurts plays on Thursday night. So, got some stuff popping up on the screen. Go away. Yeah, so definitely lock in Hurts. He'll fire up, and then Josh Allen, who's he got this week? He's got the Raiders, so he could easily do just as well. But we'll get Kelsey back in case we need him. But you'd assume he's fit to play this week. He was a touch and go for last week, so and especially with the Chiefs losing, they'll get him back as soon as they can. But yeah, the rest of it's fine. I don't think we need to make any wholesale changes just yet. We just need to give them time to do their thing. 1 week doesn't make a season. I guess looking at my super coach side, for example, we got to about 60,000 after week 2, and we almost cracked the top 1,000 by the end of the season. So definitely not time to hit the panic button, but we will, make those smart moves when we can early doors. But we'll wrap it up there. So obviously, if you've got any comments, thoughts, questions, feel free feel free rather to throw them down in the comment section below. If you enjoy the content, remember to like the videos and subscribe to the channel. And I'm pretty sure this is actually the first video I've done since I've hit the 100 subscribers. So triple digits. Super stoked about that. Thanks to everyone. Looks like we've got a few more people on board now. We're doing the EPL and NFL stuff, which is really cool. Um, so yeah, keep on coming back. And other than that, I'll catch you in the next one.